Oh, that was a big thump. That's a good fish. There's one. That's a good fish. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. This is not that old drag, huh? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today, we are doing something a little bit different. Now, we are going kayak fishing, and we are on a local lake that's got some bass, some crappie, some bluegill, bullhead. It's got pretty much everything in it that swims. But today, we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. See, about a month ago, maybe more, this company reached out to me and they said, hey, would you like to try a reel? It's a Chinese company, it's a cheap reel. And I was seeing all these other reviews, all these other channels doing these cheap, like Chinese made reels and rods and gear. So when they reached out and they said, hey, would you like to try one of our reels? I said, say no more. Send it on over to old Lukey boy, and I will take a look at it and test it out, see how it works. And at the end of this review, if you guys think you want to try this, you want to buy one, I will leave a link in the description for you guys to check it out. So this is a Plusinno Elite Hunter. This is a baitcaster, and I have not opened this yet. This is the first time you guys are seeing it with me. All I did was take it out of the mail-in package just to make sure it was a reel. It wasn't like a cat toy or something funky like that. Let's see here. Looks like they have some other goodies. An extra cap for your tension knob. Some part directions. And here is the freaking reel. This actually is not too bad. Woo! Woo! You hear that drag? Oh! I do like a clicky drag system. The handles are a foam, which is nice. I do like foam handles if they're designed right. Looks like we got just this typical baitcaster setup here. How's that click? Ooh, that thumb click's pretty nice. Pretty nice. The 6:5 gear ratio, so it's not going to be super fast retrieval, but it's also not going to be super slow. That 6.5-ish is kind of the in-between. So just a side note, if you guys are getting into baitcasters and you're like, hey, what gear ratio do I get? Typically, what I always say, just get the 6.5 or something in that borderline area, because that kind of gives you room to throw everything. You can throw a finesse bait on this, you can throw a jig, you can throw a swim bait. It's pretty much a workhorse all-around gear ratio. So if you're just starting out, definitely get 6.5. But right out of the box, this is freaking nice. That's enough talking from me on the reel. Let's get some line on it. I'm just going to use Yozuri Hybrid. Throw a 12-pound test line on there, and I'm going to put this reel on my go-to workhorse rod. This is a Phoenix Maxim. I've been using this thing for a few years now, and it's got some bumps and bruises, but you know, I use the absolute crap out of it. Good all-around casting rod. I can throw small baits, big baits. It's sensitive, but yet has a little bit of a backbone. Kind of a good in-between all-around rod. There she is with line on her. Just went in and put the line on with my kayak. I use the kayak as kind of a line barrier. I'll be very curious how this holds up, because the price on these reels are, I mean, it's just borderline stealing, honestly. Let's start off with something not super light, but also not super heavy, because I probably am going to backlash this guy, so prevent that as much as possible. Just simple little swim bait. Nothing crazy, nothing to write home about, but it does work. So far, so good, though. Okay. It's got a super loud click to it. I don't know if you guys can hear that click, though. Kind of an outrageously loud thumb clicker. That's okay with me, though. Okay. All right. Well, let's get the kayak down to the water and give it a go. Water looks pretty good. We had a lot of rain the last couple of days. Temperatures are still dropping. We're no longer in summer, that's for sure. But I suspect we'll still be able to find some bass. Well, let's figure this thing out before we really get moving here. So I got my swim bait on. Obviously on the combo. Let's see. I can't tell if it's on max or if it's on the least for the tension. Okay, we need to adjust it this way. Let's try this again here. Put the tension a little bit more. Okay, I knew that was going to happen. Hold on here. I think we figured it out. So the brake. Okay, let's move the tension knob a little bit more. Let's try this. Oh, dude. Hey, not bad. Not bad. Okay. Okay. Let's get out of the weed line here. Oh. Honestly, if I hadn't messed up the braking system when I first picked it up, I actually don't think I would have had any backlash. That's the only problem, is you don't really know where the, which way the braking system is going when you click it. It's kind of a weird layout there, but okay, all right. Let's cast out into the wind there a little bit. We got wind coming directly at us. So we all know how that goes, casting into the wind. That'll test any bait caster. Oh, dude. Oh yeah, I'll tell y'all what, I mean, okay, okay. I don't know the exact weight of that swim bait head, but it's not very big. Definitely not bigger than like a 1/4. Oh, what seems to handle a swim bait well, but I don't know if this is the bait of choice if we want to get some bass. I'm going to probably put on a neko rig or something similar, just to see if we can put this to the test truly by catching some fish on it. Try a little neko rig. I'm going to try a little drop shot worm to do that with. There we go. Let's see if this gets bit. Oh yeah, it looks so good in the water. Super lightweight too, so we're gonna see. I'm gonna see if this reel can handle a lightweight bait. Oh, I just had one. Got him. Oh. He's got it. Got him. First fish on the old Chinese reel. Okay, thanks, bud. There's one. Oh. What the heck? I think I'm so focused on trying to stay in one spot with this wind that I'm not paying attention to the fishing aspect. Oh, that's a fish. That's a good fish. That's a good fish. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Woo-wee. Sweet. Got him. Let's go. Another decent fish. Not bad for this little pond. There's one. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's go. The fish in here are not super big. Obviously, there are some big ones here and there, but Unfortunately, for the most part, they're going to be pretty tiny. That's alright though. We're just having some fun, y'all. Having some fun, testing out the new reel. I think of all the things with this reel that is surprising me is A, I guess it still works, which is, you know, pretty rare with these really cheap reels. But B, the fact that I'm not really backlashing. Like, I mean, I'm casting directly into the wind, y'all. And like I said earlier, that really does test. That's any bait casting reel that you have. And from my experience, usually what happens with these cheaper bait casters is they don't really focus a whole lot on the braking system. And, you know, that's obviously kind of a problem when you're casting into the wind. Any sort of wind or weird stuff going on, you really want a decent brake system. And the fact that I'm able to cast a lightweight, somewhat lightweight worm into the wind with minimal backlashing, I mean, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty good. Could it be better? Yeah, it could definitely be better. But you know, again, we're talking perspective. Think about the price of this reel versus some of the competitors that are double, triple, quadruple the price. Oh, that was a big thump. That's a good fish. That's a good fish. He thumped it. I felt that from like 3 miles away, y'all. Okay, not as big as I thought, but come here, buddy. My goodness, he smoked it. Whew. There's one. Another one. Come here, bud. All right. There's one. Feels like a better fish. Here we go. Beautiful sunset bass. Well, we're coming up on the end of the day here. Probably have about, I don't know, 25 minutes before the sun goes down. I guess let me get this guy in real quick here. Well, we're coming up to the end of the day, and I've got some thoughts about this reel. First things first, we gotta get this out of the way. It works. So that was obviously the number one concern I had about this guy, was, you know, how much it was actually going to work. Was it going to kind of fall apart as soon as I got it? Would it break apart after the first fish? You know, what did that part look like? Well, needless to say, that box is checked. It does work. Caught fish on it. I've casted probably 100 times. No immediate issues at all with the reel. The handle still works. Tension knob works. The brakes work. And the thumb knob works. So basics out of the way, that works. A+. The second big thing that I was worried about was castability. Was this thing going to be able to cast and actually cast effectively without a bunch of backlashing and be halfway accurate? I would say if I was scoring this like a school paper, castability, I'd probably give it maybe a C+, maybe a B-, it depends. Because overall, I cast. I mean, you guys see, I can cast it into the wind. I can cast it behind me, in front of me, sideways. Light weights, heavier weights. It seems to handle everything okay. It's just not perfect. I don't want to say perfect, but you know, it's just, it feels like it needs a little more gearing, a little better braking system. You know, it needs a couple more things before I put it up into that B+, A-, A category. You really got to make sure you use thumb control, especially with the lighter bait, and if you're casting into the wind. Either way, no matter what bait caster you have, you're probably already doing that. So everything I'm saying is nothing new, but I'm used to Daiwas, a little bit higher quality Daiwa reels, where they kind of have a built-in system that you don't really have to hold your thumb down, which is pretty nice. But for this one, definitely thumb control. I have the brakes right now maxed out fully. I have my tension knob pretty tight. I don't really want to make it any tighter than it is. And it's decent, it works. So out of the box reliability, A+, castability, C+, feel, I'd probably give it a B. It feels good in my hands. I'm not, you know, my hand's not achy, it's not hurting. It feels just like a traditional bait caster. It palms in my hand okay. The foam knobs are a nice little touch. They do work. I was afraid those were gonna kind of break apart pretty quickly, but they still look literally brand new, like I didn't even use it. And then that leads me to the day-to-day fishing. You know, when you're grabbing your rod and reel, you just want to go outside and do a little bit of fishing. Are you picking this guy up to go? Now, see, that's a tough one for me. I would probably need to use this a few more times, take it out, really test the reliability. You know, maybe use the drag system a couple of times. That'll give me a better feel for if this is something I would actually use day to day. But if you're just starting out or you're on a budget and you just want to get yourself a bait caster, I can't really think of anything bad to say about it. It works. Well, that's going to conclude today's adventure. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Man, I tell you what, you know, and sometimes it's just cool to go out, catch a few fish, have a good time. Like I said earlier, guys, this company reached out to me and said, hey, you want a reel? You want to try one of these reels that we have? I was like, sure. No pressure. There's no payments. I'm not getting paid to do this. All they did was send me a reel and said, have fun with it, enjoy it, see what you can do with it. And that's what we did. Today we broke it in. Honestly, for 40, 50 bucks, not a bad reel at all. I'm impressed. I had a couple of backlashes. It didn't do super well with the lighter stuff, which most reels don't, most bait casters don't. But outside of that, it caught fish, it held fish, it pinned fish down, and I was able to cast 100, probably 150 times, no problems there. But I need to take it out more, give it a real good rundown, the old Lucas special, take it out, beat the crap out of it. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate the support. I love y'all. I will catch you on the next one. Peace!